All right, my name is Mark Suter, or Garlic in 3D Game Lab, and tonight we're going to be looking at how to make a book trailer similar to a movie trailer online using, specifically, I'm traditionally using Animoto as my web-based book trailer tool, but there's also one I just discovered an hour ago that we're going to look at called Video, like video but with a W, .com. It's actually .co, but they say .com all the time. So anyways, we'll start here in Animoto. My overall inspiration for this and what the objective was for my use was book trailers for all.com, and I spelled trailers wrong. Jeez, oh Pete. You'd think I'd have that ready. Where is their documents? It's kind of an ugly website, but they have a bunch of examples of how they're using this and such. Wow, I can't even click on these links. They're so messed up. There we go. Okay, so they actually will create the trailer online, and then they'll make a QR code, the quick response codes that kids use their iPod Touch or whatever to scan, and they make the QR code that links directly to the book trailer, and then they do this. They print it out and paste it on the inside cover of the book jacket and put it on the shelf and label the spine with a little BT label with some tape. And that way, when kids are perusing the language arts classroom shelves for what book to read next, they can pull the book off the shelf, and scan the QR code and watch the trailer for that book on their mobile device or on a computer. You always have them put in a URL, a shortened URL, so you could manually type it into if you don't have a mobile device. So that's the overall objective. And we're going to start here in Animoto. I'm going to show you one that I've made before about the book called Killing Lincoln. It's a historical thriller about, well, the death of Abraham Lincoln. I'll just show you what the end result is first. You could either watch it on my screen, or I'll actually paste the link in the chat window here for people attending today. Got a little link here. It is. Oops. Copy, paste. That's the final result of the last time that I made this book trailer. And I'll just play it on here for those of you who aren't going to follow the link. You won't have audio, I guess. It's playing Moonlight Sonata, so just imagine. So that's the, if I can get on full screen, there we go. That's the finished product. And I'm going to go back to my videos. I actually already did the create portion and picked a template, but I uploaded the song ahead of time. Actually, I'll show you what the create looks like. Because there is I think there's a temporary pro thing you can sign up for as an educator. You'll see these ones that say pro in the bottom right. You can't use those, obviously, unless you sign up. So we'll pick one that does not have the pro, and I think this is the one I used last time, actually. Vintage Voyage. So you would click on that, and that would take you to the portion I'm already at. And you can come back and edit these later, obviously. And you can see up here at the top, it's basically a storyboard. I've already uploaded my Moonlight Sonata here because it's a nice depressing song, you know, a story about death. And what I have my students do is in, you know, Notepad or Word or anywhere, I have them write out, if we watch a couple of existing movie trailers and then a couple of book trailers in the classroom, and then have them write out this. If they could write in just, I think it's like 30 characters or less, their epic sounding teaser text, I think I call it, and how they would intertwine that with pictures. And so I have picture, April 14th, this, etc. And so after they've written that, I can proofread that, and so they're not, building it, publishing it, and then I say, well, no, you can do better than that, and then they have to rebuild it again and republish it. This prevents, I finally started having them do this ahead of time so I could proofread their teaser text ahead of time without it, wasting class time. So here's my teaser text all written out ahead of time, and I know I want, you could do all these at once. I'm just going to throw my text in, and then I'm going to throw my pictures in and upload those, and you can rearrange by dragging and dropping. So I'm just going to do a quick copy, add text. Oh, it's 40 characters, I'm sorry, and then the 50 subtitles. I don't use the subtitle all the time. So there's that one. And once they have this all in here, I show them how quick this can be done. Put a little ellipses there, save, text. And after I kind of do a speed one like this, they're all kind of impressed with how quickly you can actually accomplish these things. I emphasize less text is usually better, simplicity. Nobody wants to read a paragraph when they're watching a movie trailer or book trailer. I don't know if this one's going to fit because I changed it. Ooh, barely. 3 characters left. It's kind of like practice for Twitter, right? Writing meaningful things in less than 40 characters. Whoops, add text. Okay, now I'm going to make sure this is saved. I'm going to hide my panel that you can't see. Save. Add pictures and vids. Now you can upload directly from any of these social medias. I do have Dropbox and some of these other ones, but I'm just going to directly upload from my hard drive, which is what I typically have the students do, especially the middle school students. We do some Google image safe searches. We talk about safe searching for images and that kind of thing. And so we really hit a lot of disciplines when we do our book trailers. We tie a lot of, a little bit of reliable sources, mainly, safe searches and Wikimedia Commons and that kind of thing, which not all mine are from, by the way, but we do talk about that in class. Here's a nice shot of Lincoln, and it will throw it at the end, and while that one's uploading, you can actually hit the next plus sign and hit the little picture again, and then throw in Ford's Theater, and this should disappear. There it goes. And while that one's going, I can go get another one. And so you can really move right on through this if they have it all planned out ahead of time. And I'm going to drag Lincoln here in between those two. And they're going out to the theater there. Read the book should go, oh, it's already at the end. And let's add another couple of pictures. There's lovely Miss Mary Todd. I'm pretty sure it was Lincoln's second choice, if I remember right. Nice. Oops. Plus, upload. So you can see this is a pretty quick process, especially if you have all the pictures. I don't have that one yet, do I? No. Hey, while it's uploading, you can still drag and drop it. That's nice. Wow. Oh. Oh yeah, we need Booth, duh. John Wilkes. Oops. There we go. Upload. There he is. So you could really do this for any topic. Oh, I want one of the soldiers standing around after the Civil War. That's what I have these for. Here we go. Oops. Amidst a war celebration. There we go. We'll start there, save, and you can actually remix this, and it'll kind of throw around stuff in a different way with different motion. I don't have one of him getting shot yet. This one. Oh wait, I can't have a longer video. I'm sorry, I forgot. This is limited to 30 seconds, and its current animation is 28 out of 35 seconds. So we've got to be a little more choosy with our images. So we'll have read the book here at the end. How about that? And do I have room for one more? Full, it says. All right, we'll leave it at that. The spotlight is actually, if you click on one and then choose spotlight, it just leaves it longer in the animation. And I'm just going to preview the video, which creates a low resolution one. I'm going to say skip and produce and just let it produce that. And while it's doing that, I'm going to show you the next step. Well, that didn't take long. Never mind, maybe we'll just watch it. This will be done in a second. I'll check the chat. While that's processing, do we have any questions so far on creating our book trailers? I suppose you could do storytelling in a lot of different, not just books. Hello, Leanne. Leanne, I was just sharing with them before we did the recording Storybird, which I now use with my students. You were the one that shared that with me originally, so thank you for that. So here's what we have so far. Actually, that's fairly complete. Leanne Tardy. Welcome. So that's actually not bad. It's a fairly complete book trailer there, actually, for being 35 seconds. I'd say adding other things might get a little too wordy. But one of the disadvantages of using Animoto is that you don't have, you can't upload, well, I guess you could record your own audio and upload that, but you can't narrate it inside of there. So you could record it separately with something like Audacity, which is my favorite free audio recording. So there is Animoto from start to finish making a nice little book trailer. Now, what do we do with it? Well, we got to cut it out and paste it inside the book with a QR code, of course, and use the URL shortener. So let's check out both of those things. Here's the link after you're done, and that link is static. It's not going to change, so we copy that to clipboard, which we did there. And you could use any QR code generator. I'm using goqr.me. If anybody wants to check that out, I'll paste that into there. Now, a bit about QR codes. They're not completely caught on in the U.S. like they supposedly have overseas, but kids still think they're cool. So the less text in the URL, the better. It starts out here. You could type in, hi, and that's the word hi is a QR code, if you just wanted it to be a message. But we're doing a URL. So google.com is this. However, if you had a really long URL, like google.com/ blah, 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 slash, blah, 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 slash, blah, 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 do you see how much more complicated that is? That results in a lot more errors, and the apps on the iPad, iPod, phone, whatever, can't recognize them as well. And so you don't want long URLs such as the one we got from here. This is still way too long. I mean, I could use this if I wanted. Let me go back here, select all, delete, paste. And that's fairly simple, but there's a better way. I use either bit.ly, bit.ly, or my new favorite one, goo.gol. the Google one, because it remembers all my past pastes for me. I know Bitly and those do too, but I know I'm part of the Google monopoly. But I paste my long URL there and say shorten it. By the way, this is handy for Twitter because you only have 40 characters, which I think is the original reason or one of the motivators for URL shorteners. So now we have this really short URL. So when people visit this, Google's going to take them and send them to this long URL. So we take that short URL, go in here and delete all that junk, paste in our shortened URL, and you can see the boxes are much larger, much simpler, and that's the way to go. So then you would download this, have the students do this, and little side note, I just thought of something else. If you ever think about actually having your students do this, which I hope you do, Screencast-O-Matic. This is my tool I've been using this entire school year, and I don't feel like I'm going to bail on it anytime soon, but it's a web-based screen recording app. And I'll log in real quick. So you can see what the existing list of them is. So I have 148 of these, and I teach all of these subjects, and when students want to look through any of these categories, they can look through, and I have a ton of them, and they just watch them right inside the web. I never have to download anything, but the cool thing is I do have the option to download them. So they're kind of like stored on the web, but then I can download them if I want. I understand I could use YouTube, however, that's an extra step, and I'm more about efficiency than I am about, using the rest. Whoa, what is playing? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I heard my own voice in my headphones, and it was me on the tutorial. It threw me for a loop. But you can see here I can download them later. So there's no limits as far as I can tell. I have 148 of them, and I haven't hit any limits yet. Other than there's a 15-minute time period, which if your tutorials are longer than that, you should probably shorten them anyways. Just like in 3D Game Lab, your quests shouldn't take forever because they get bored. Break it up into little chunks. Chris talks about that strategy a lot, Chris Haskell. So anyways, great way to do your screen recordings if you are going to do this. Sorry, a little segue there. So here's our we just downloaded our QR code. Then you could use Microsoft Word, and what I would recommend is not just putting just the QR code, but actually inserting that image. Oh man, I haven't used this for a while. Home. Oh good Lord, Mark. Picture, jeez. There it is. Put in the QR code, and then underneath it, paste in that shortened URL as well, and then maybe the creators, so Bob and Janice, May 2013, just give a little context to it, and then you could print that out, cut it out, and stick it inside the book. So if they don't have the QR code reader, it's okay. They still have the shortened URL, which is case sensitive, by the way, and they can still get there. Or you can make a whole page of them with all your students and print them all at once, whatever. So that's the entire process from start to finish. Are there questions? Oh, thank you, Hannah. Sweet. Save me a step. I think somebody pointed that out to me last time, and I forgot. But yes, thank you. Google, goo.gl, Google, also gives you a QR code if you click details next to the shortened link. Details. Oh, Google, is there anything you don't do? Hey, nobody's visited yet. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is a little more like an animated infographic kind of thing called Widio.com. And if you've ever used Powtoon, I am changing over from Powtoon to Widio. I'll just show you Powtoon.com. Powtoon's not quite as user-friendly. It took me quite a while to get decent with Powtoon. They look pretty nice, but Widio is just as nice, but a heck of a lot easier in my opinion. So I'm going to now, whenever I have my students do, illustrate this concept kind of thing in Powtoon, I'm going to have them use Widio. Now, what you could do for book trailers or any concept, and I'm just going to do a similar book trailer, I'm going to create a new one. And if you've ever used Adobe Flash, this has some similar terminology, so if you're going to be doing Flash later on, you may want to actually start them with this. It's kind of like simplified Flash because they use keyframes and animations over time. Tips, thank you. So this is our stage, our timeline from 0 to, I'm going to collapse this, from 0 to 2 seconds. You can increase the duration of your entire scene there. And then you can have scene 1, scene 2, etc., etc. So this is what they call the super button, this plus button here. And you can choose your background, which will start there. Oddly enough, the background is one thing you can't upload your own. I suppose you could upload an image and just make it really big. So there, let's make it grungy. Lincoln's going to get shot. Some preset shapes, which I don't use. Their objects are kind of interesting. And I'm going to use the icons panel. There's a whole bunch of them in here. But we're going to have Abe and Mary Todd Lincoln, which, well, I don't know why she's huge. You can click on things and increase their size. There you go, they're in love. And now you can also highlight them, and there's a group button now, so they move together. And this little bouncing ball is the animate ball. So we can click on that. Now, the in and out is just how it comes onto the stage or leaves the stage. Okay, I'm actually going to have them enter the stage not via one of their preset 3 effects. Yeah, I know it's a little limited, but it looks impressive actually. My in is actually going to be them coming onto the stage. So I'm actually going to have step 1, or keyframe 1, I should say, be off the stage there. So that's number 1. Okay, you see this little thing fly down here? That's keyframe 1. I can move this around. I'm going to start them there. Then I'm going to put them onto the stage, about right there. And then that's going to be number 2. Okay, and it throws that at the end, 2 seconds into the video. So if we hit the play button, I did something wrong. Hold on. Placement 1. Okay. There we go. So they fly onto the screen there. And if you want to increase the duration of the video, you just hit the plus here, and now it's up to 8, 9, 10, 11 seconds. And you could have the story here and say, you know, Lincoln and Mary Todd go to the Ford's Theater and do more of an infographic type book trailer, and then have a scary dude. The actual video mascot is kind of a scary little guy. Oh wait, there's a little death man. I'm sure that's what my students would use. They love the skulls. All right, this represents John Wilkes Booth. Except I'm going to make it not replace. I thought it would let me change the color. Pretty sure you can somewhere, but I forget where. Remember, I just discovered this tool about an hour ago, so I'm kind of going off memory here. We're going to animate this guy, and he's going to start here. Okay. And then he's going to end up here. Okay. Except he's not going to start coming onto the scene until the 3rd second, and he's going to be done moving at roughly the 4th second. So my little peeps will come onto the stage, and then death flies onto the stage. And I would do the same thing with my text. So-and-so go to the theater, etc. Let's throw some text in there. Then Booth arrives. I know it's really melodramatic. And when you click off and click back on it, you can just make it larger, like so. And you can animate the text just the same way. So I'm going to hit the animate and just say this is going to animate in by flying. But it's not going to start flying in until about 4.6 or so. So we have the skull, and then Booth arrives, flies in. That's the end of scene 1. It's not very well thought out, but you can hit the little plus button and get a brand new scene with the same background. And then you could start over into the next chunk, and when you export, it will jump from scene to scene. And you can also transition between the scenes. Let's do a zoom in between these 2 scenes. And just to have something in scene 2, let's where is that weird little dude at? Live things, there he is. There's Crazy Man. We'll just have him there. By the way, one of the animation things you can do is actually scaling and moving at the same time, which is another, like the emotion tween in Flash. Oops. So now he grows and moves over. Last thing before we publish is you can also upload your own sounds, which is handy. It does come with some preset ones, as does Animoto. There's actually a lot more options in Animoto. I am not going to upload my own. I'm going to choose that one. Done, I think. There it goes, loading sound. Okay. And you can upload your files from anywhere, from this little upload button or from the individual ones. So once that's all finished, you can publish, and it will be web-based with a shareable URL, just like any YouTube video or self-respecting web-based video editor would be. I can't believe I just said that, because web-based video editing is not that old. YouTube's web-based video editor is also a really good choice if you're just slapping together some video with some music or something and you don't have the software. YouTube.com/edit or editor. You just upload them. Whoa. Okay, I don't know if you can hear this music, but it's really banjo-y. Title: Horrible Lincoln Story. Yep. The branding doesn't bother me, especially for education. You can embed, gives you the embed code. I will post the link to this amazing video over here so that you too can enjoy that creation. I don't want to go through and perfect it and just waste your time, but I did want to give you a start to finish of both of those two sources. Now I could imagine in a science class animating, the electrons and that, using the basic shapes, you could get quite a lot done, I think. Wow, we kind of flew through that. I'm sorry, that might have been a little fast. Do we have any comments, questions so far? Oh, hi Lisa, I didn't see you come in. Does video have time limit for the free version of videos? Let's see. I don't know for video. I just found this one. Richard Byrne, by the way, is the one who I follow on Twitter, freetech4teachers.com. I only follow a select few people because they only post amazing things, in my opinion. He's a younger guy, and he is really good. So I don't know what his Twitter name is, but that's his website, which I will also post down here for y'all. I'm from the country. The free version. Let's check it out. Are you sure? Yes. So I have done the book trailers using Animoto with my students, and the language arts teachers really like it because, anytime you go cross-categorical or cross subjects, the teachers love it, especially because I think they have more trouble getting kids excited about English class than I do with computer tech class, because they love tech already. And so they're excited that their students are excited. So if you have any excuse to tie in these kinds of things, it's really helpful just for morale in the classroom. They feel like, they're getting to do something they enjoy. Create. I'm just going to try creating or increasing the length of my video. Save it. Let's go back to video. Let's edit the Lincoln one. Let's just try making it a whole bunch of scenes. And we'll see where the limit is. Okay. Still going. Looks like 60 seconds is the limit for one scene. Whoa. If you have 25 scenes, I'd be impressed. Hey, there's your limit right there. 30 scenes at 60 seconds a pop. A lot of clicks later, we have an answer. Oh, by the way, what's really easy about the animation in this that's better than the Powtoon is down here at the bottom, if you want to animate or change the animation, let's say for the skull that represents John Wilkes Booth, you click just on the skull button and it shows you the two keyframes for that. They look much closer together, of course, because of the, use my zoom it tool here, because these little guys down here, this is only 4 seconds, and so our frames are a lot closer together, but you can jump from item to item and animate them independently. So I think I'm going to start using this as a primer for Adobe Flash, so when they come in as freshmen, which is when I usually teach Flash, terms like keyframes will already be old hat to them, and they'll be able to jump right into Flash instead of, you know, being wide-eyed for a couple of days and that scary feeling where you don't know anything and you feel like everybody else does. Other questions so far? URL shorteners, we covered those. Our QR codes. Nobody has their mics on. Feel free to turn on. You guys are all self-muting. Feel free to pipe up. We're a friendly bunch. Except Leanne. I'm cooking. It's noisy. It's okay.
Now I'm sitting in my office and there's hall noise, but I can talk with you. So I'm sorry I was late, but I think is this video hard to learn to do? It looks really interesting.
Like I said, I just found it an hour ago actually, and I went through and I watched they have a couple of tutorials that show you the basics, and that was 3 minutes, and so I watched that, and then I built a video that I deleted earlier in just about no time. It's kind of like Prezi in that all the menus are context sensitive. So when you click on stuff, the only things that you need to see pop up, whereas a lot of software is just loading the interface with buttons. And so you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to click on when and where. But they do a brilliant job of interface design by only giving you context-sensitive items. You know, even your little scaling buttons here, the plus and minus if you prefer that. So I think younger students all the way through the older students would not only get a kick out of building stuff in it, but it's simple enough to communicate a concept and prove that they have some sort of mastery of a topic. I mean, you could use it for storytelling and book trailers, but I kind of feel like it would be also just as useful, if not more, for like science or visual math, you know, adding numbers together, grouping numbers. And the fact that you can upload your own images is wonderful because obviously you're not limited to just theirs. So you could animate all of your own images. So essentially a lot of teachers try to teach Flash to younger kids, which I admire, but I think it's a little overkill because kids get lost in the details. And then they end up, you know, spending 3 weeks learning the software and about, you know, 5% of that time actually mastering content. I mean, you can say, yeah, they have contact time with the content, but how much time are they actually learning something? Staring at a map of the world isn't teaching them geography.
Yeah. So as I look at this, it looks to me like on the video you could actually get more content in than you can on the free version of Animoto.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm finding Animoto a little limited for older kids.
The only reason I would choose Animoto over this now is the automation of it. And so if you're just strictly looking for a quick, down and dirty, easy creation, it is that, if nothing else. And sometimes that's what I'm looking for. If I got, 2 days before a major Easter break or something, I'm like, man, I got to get this done quick. I can actually pull off an Animoto project in that time, and it still be good. But this I would spend, at least a week on to make something really nice. So, other comments, questions? I have a laser teacher. Are your how-to videos for Animoto available online somewhere for general use? How-to video for Animoto. Oh, you mean this video, Tara? The recording I'm doing now?
Yeah, either this one or something. Hi. Either this one or it seemed like on that other website that you gave us, which I copied the URL, where you can make your own videos. It seemed like you said that you had a bunch logged on there, so I didn't know if you had.
The Screencast-O-Matic.
Screencast-O-Matic, exactly.
Actually, when I did the tutorials for Animoto, I think I've only done those tutorials inside of these live events with 3D Game Lab.
Okay.
I think when I teach my students, I don't think I actually recorded those.
Okay. Just thought I'd check.
Yes. No, but you know what? You know what we could do is a double recording. While recording this screen sharing session, I can run a... Oh, let's try it. That would be exciting. Unless anybody else has some objections. We will use Screencast-O-Matic simultaneously with GoToMeeting, and we will record into there, and then I'll post the link so all you have is the link to just that one bite-sized chunk of Animoto tutorial. How about that, Tara?
You are fantastic. That sounds fantastic. Like Christmas. Thank you.
All right. If my computer crashes, I apologize because I've never done. This is like alternate dimensions here, so.
You are so going to go down.
I know it might, but I'm going in.
So great.
Audience input. Well, it's a little Dell laptop, so I don't think so. About Screencast-O-Matic, since we're here, I did a Codecademy tutorial for some students because I'm building more quests for my computer tech. It's called Mr. Suiter's Level 6. So if you teach computer tech, feel free to clone my group. It's growing every year. But anyways, when you make a new recording, you choose delete. Don't get scared. That's not deleting it from your archive. That's just deleting the local copy, I guess is how I describe it, letting you make a new one. Okay, which means you can't go back and edit it. Can you guys see my little SOM Screencast-O-Matic control panel down here with the little red record button in the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You can choose your audio input, which I have a lot of things plugged in right now. Full size or partial size, and another neat things that this offers that you can't get in anything except for the paid version of, what is it, Camtasia Studio, is picture-in-picture. So if I wanted a picture of myself down in the bottom right, you can see that in the bottom right. That is essentially what would show up in the recording is a little picture of me. So I've actually, if I'm teaching how to transfer photos from a memory card, I can show them the camera and then show them on my screen what I'm clicking on, and it's really helpful for students. So I only use that sometimes, but it is a powerful feature when you have it. Now, next thing I do is resize it. I'm going to go to Animoto. I'm going to go to animoto.com. And I'm going to start my recording here. And I'm going to intentionally mess up just to show you something. Hello, this is Mr. Suiter or Garlic or any of the other nicknames. And, oh my gosh, I just messed up. Oh man, what should I do? So I hit the pause button. And it says it's an 8.9. What you can do is grab this little blue bar here. And you can actually go back in time to the part you just recorded and find out, okay, right at 5.7, there's my mistake. I would be able to hear it in my headphones and such. And then if I hit record from there, it says, do you want to truncate, in other words, cut back to that portion, eliminating all this afterwards part, or do you want to start where you left off? Well, I want to truncate to that position. So it's brilliant for making mistakes because I often make mistakes, but I want my students to have a really good recording because, they get bored fast, and I do too. So I go back to where I made the mistake because nothing worse than a demo curse that just holds up the entire, demo, I guess. So, and then it does your countdown again. I hear somebody's typing. That's kind of distracting. I think it's yours, Leanne. Come on, Leanne.
It's me. You told me to
Leanne! Oh, my goodness. All right, well, mute again because I can't hear myself. Well, not hear myself, but my thoughts revolve in the head. Oh, man, it's recording. I'm going to restart because that was horrible. Sorry, that was a phone. All right, starting from the beginning. Hit my little. By the way, you also pause it while you're recording if you lose track of the pause button, this little dotted box. Hi, this is Garlic or Mark Suter, Mr. Suter, depending on my audience. This is Animoto and how to make a book trailer. First thing I'm going to do is go to Create. We're on Animoto.com. I've already created my account, and I'm going to make a book trailer similar to that of a movie trailer. If you have the Pro account, which I think teachers have a temporary version of, you can choose that, or any of them that don't say Pro. And this is going to be your theme. It's going to do all the animation for you, and in the small print it says, or make a 30-second one for free. So I could watch it, but I'm sure it's amazing. So I'm just going to choose it. Now we're loading up our Web 2.0 tool here, which is a fun buzzword to throw around to make you sound like you know what you're talking about. And it's a web-based video editor. And essentially we piece it all together here. Keep an eye on your total video length because you only have, it's actually 35 seconds. You hit your plus button, and it's either going to be picture or text. Well, when I have my students build theirs, I have them. Oops, I hit the wrong button. When I have my students build theirs, I have them write out what I call the teaser text, epic sounding short sentences about Twitter length, 40 characters or less, interspersed or mixed up with their pictures. And that way I can proofread them before they put them in, go to the trouble of publishing it, and it saves class time. So what I would recommend is having them type out their notepad of teaser text, and don't do too many lines, not more than 5 or 6, because you only have 30 seconds. And then in here you say add text and paste it in. You can have subtitles, but the more you type, the more the reader or the viewer has to read, and that's not always a good thing. So we just jump between there. I'm alt-tabbing, by the way. If you want to teach your students shortcuts, they like those things. Or you can arrange your windows side by side. So I go through and I copy-paste these things. And then after this, I'm going to be uploading my images. And then you can just drag and drop the images anywhere in between there, and then it'll actually piece it all together for you. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. There we go. Text, paste, save. Copy, and this will be my last text one because I think I'm going to run out of room with my pictures. Now, at the end, I'm going to hit my little save button to make sure I'm doing okay. In my recording, you don't see the save button, but it's in the top right. I made it a little too small, but you'll live. Hit the pictures. Now, you can't upload from any of these, but for student projects, I usually have them upload their own. We also talk about Google Safe Search, Wikimedia, and copyright, and what is a violation and what isn't. So you can actually tie into several different disciplines by doing these book trailers. While they're uploading, you can actually drag and drop them amidst the other text boxes here. And you can see, well, you can't see. Here, now you can see. I have used 25 out of my 33 seconds, so I don't want to go too much longer. But I'll add another picture of beautiful Miss Mary Todd Lincoln. Drop her in there. Hey, I still got some more time. Good. We got to show Booth, the murderer. There were co-conspirators that were going to kill other U.S. officials, but there we go. I'm surprised my computer's still running since I'm running a all these things at once. And it says it's full. 33 seconds. How generous of them. 33 seconds. So you could then also, the spotlight, if I choose this and choose spotlight, it will then highlight this, which means it will pause on that picture longer than any of these other pictures. Okay, but it also kicked out this. So you see this little area over here? That's stuff that is not included in your video. So by using the spotlight, it also kicked out that other guy. So we'll throw him back in there. So if you don't have enough pictures and you want to pause a picture, you can use the spotlight. You can rotate the pictures in here. It's not much of a video editor, or I mean image editor, but we could preview then. And actually, I just usually do the skip and produce, and this is Killing Lincoln 2 book trailer. Skip and produce. And then, while that's producing, we'll come back to this in a few seconds. Hey, it's got the link before it's even done producing. We copied that, and I'm going to go qr.me, or you could also actually use as Tara, I think, from Awesome 3D Game Lab showed us goo.goal. Our URL shortener will actually generate a QR code. We paste it in here and say shorten. The reason we're shortening this is long URLs make complicated QR codes which don't read very well because they're too detailed. So the simpler the better. There's our QR code. It's a little small, but it's not bad. Save image. I'm just going to throw that on the desktop. Save. And then what I have my students do is throw it into Word with, you know, the short URL. In case they don't have a QR code reader, they can still visit the book trailer by typing in the case-sensitive link there. And then who did it, first names, and when they did it, to give a little context to it. I also allow students, multiple groups or multiple students, to make book trailers about the same book, because it's okay if 5 different people do Hunger Games, which was really popular. They were all pretty different. So let's go back and see if, where are we at? Animoto, there we go. Here's our final result. Let's check it out full screen. Actually not, because you can't see it outside the recording window. So maybe I should have put the cover of the book at the end, but essentially that's the start to finish product for book trailers using Animoto, and I hope you enjoyed. Whew, okay, I can relax now. I mean, that was a lot of pressure you put me under.
You did great.
Now what you do with Screencast-O-Matic is you hit done, and I always use the publish to Screencast-O-Matic. I used to do publish to video file until I realized that you can actually download the published ones on Screencast-O-Matic. And I'll say, I'm actually going to use this in class next week, because we're getting to the end of the school year and they get squirrely. And so they like little projects like this. Animoto. Oops. Trailer demo. Channel, I have a lot of channels. I'll just put it under General Tech. I don't use any of these things. I just say upload. And then, you know, 3 or 4 minutes later, after it encodes and uploads, we'll have a link in this very window. And as soon as that pops up, I will copy and paste it into the chat. And I'll probably tweet it under my Baba Suitor, which is my classroom Twitter name, and then Garlic Suitor is I only tweet 3D Game Lab related things. I don't tweet all that often, but I feel like when I do tweet, they're usually something meaningful. I don't know. I don't know why it needs to be something epic to be tweeted, but questions while we're encoding our Screencast-O-Matic custom tutorial for, was that for Tara, for Tracy? I forget. I don't even forget. Tara. It was Tara.
Yes.
I can't believe this worked. I was about ready to go bail and just restart or something. I don't know. Barbecue chicken. Can Mark make a video demonstrating that? Of making barbecue chicken salad. You're cooking with the microwave. I think I'm fine too. I didn't know about this.
No, I was defrosting with the microwave and it was
Oh, okay. Okay, that's okay then. Leanne uses Camtasia but knows several colleagues who rely on Screencast-O-Matic. Yeah, for K through 12 especially, if you don't have any but funds that you can buy, Camtasia is amazing, but there is a learning curve that comes along with those amazing features. So Screencast-O-Matic I found a year and a half ago or so, and I don't use anything else. They're getting so good with these web-based tools.
You know, I only use Screencast-O-Matic now, but it's because I'm on a new computer that doesn't have Camtasia on it yet. But
Yeah.
to be honest, the video editing to me in Camtasia is like the most friendly video editing tool I've ever used.
Okay.
So that is the strength of it.
Yeah. So I know several of my coworkers that have gotten started on that, the editing feature. Sorry, I'm scrolling through here.
Yeah, you know, being able to split out audio tracks and video.
Oh, yeah. Leanne's leaving. See you, Leanne. Thanks for coming. Yes, I will be posting the link to this recording. See, I changed the settings on GoToMeeting. If you ever use it, change the settings to convert into a Windows media file after you're done, which allows me then to post it on any social media. I usually use SchoolTube as opposed to YouTube just because I can access it at school. So I will post a link to the recording, but it won't be for about an hour or so because it's got to convert and then I got to upload it. And but yes, it will be under the event, this specific event on the event calendar. You may have
So what do
already
you do, Mark? Because I saved one and the file's so huge I can't get it uploaded anywhere.
Yeah, it's a long process, and I under the file settings or file preferences recording section, you can convert to Windows Media Player file, and then it asks where you want to put it. Mine goes to my desktop, and then I run it through Adobe Media Encoder, which I have just because I have the Adobe Suite. That's what crunches it down to an uploadable file size for me without sacrificing quality. So there's several steps.
Let me see if I have that. It was called Adobe what?
Adobe Media Encoder.
Thank you.
And if you have Production Premium, it came with that. And if you have Premiere, you have it. And really, Adobe Media Encoder is great for any teachers. If your school has Adobe products, which a lot do, it's not a free program, but if you already have any of the Adobe suites, well, at least specifically the video editing, Adobe Premiere, you would have Adobe Media Encoder, which you can go between lots of different video formats.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
About the screencast idea? Is there any way to do a screencast from on an iPad?
You talking about from GoToMeeting?
Well, I mean, just for any platform.
By
Basically,
Lisa.
I'm trying to record a lesson where I can use my iPad to write, and it all gets recorded.
Oh, so you're recording on the computer, but you're streaming your iPad to the computer that's doing the recording?
Yeah, is there a way to do that?
Yes, there's lots of ways to do that. I know one way is to through a Mac Mini, and there's also a couple of apps that would allow you to use a Wi-Fi connection to stream your screen. I know the Mac Mini is the smoothest from what I hear. That's what I know some of the Boise State profs use, and what like I think Lucas Gillespie uses that one. One of those guys do. I don't use that, and I think I should probably get into that because we have an iPad cart now. So you're looking to record what you're doing on the iPad specifically, right?
Right, exactly. I'm trying to, basically like show, hold on, let me kill the dog.
Please don't kill the dog. At least not during the recording. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love dogs. I have dogs. Whoa. And it's
No, I just had to show him that I wasn't
sure.
I don't want to play with him.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to get outside to my daughter who's on the front porch.
Ah.
He's going crazy. No, I'm not going to kill my dog.
Good, good.
No, but no, no. I'm going. What I'd like to do is I want to be able to do write out a lesson. Like normally in the classroom, I'll write write on my iPad and it goes onto my overhead for the kids.
Mhm.
And I want to be able to look at a video of that like when they're at home.
Mhm.
So I was
Right.
trying to figure out a way to do the same idea where
So you want to do it
I'm
like
doing the
Khan Academy
problems.
style.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I see. Using the iPad as the stylus, so to speak.
Right, right. Because I've got an iPad and an iMac, and I'm like, okay, I gotta be able to do this somehow.
Oh, you have an iMac?
Yeah,
AirPlay will do that, I think.
AirPlay.
I think.
Okay.
It says Apple
Actually,
TV. Crap. I'm sorry. I don't know as much about
what?
Mac. I don't want
Yeah. Well, I can
to
try.
lead you
I
on that I
remember
do.
running into something about that, but I just forgot because I got a new iPad 4 like a month ago, and I was trying
Oop.
to do this about 3 months ago with my old iPad 1,
Looks
and
like
that
Hannah
never.
just posted our solution.
Oh, okay.
Reflection with AirPlay.
Oh, cool.
Tell us about that, Hannah. Is that an app that you run on the iPad then, or software you run on the iMac? Reflection works. If you don't understand.
Hey, you actually download it to your Mac first, and
Okay.
then your iPad will pick up that AirPlay is running, and it will pick up that you can port from your iPad to your MacBook screen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Reflector. They keep changing their name. It was Reflection. I guess it's Reflector now.
So it's not free,
Yeah,
but
but
it
it
will
works great.
work.
Yeah, I think it's, what is it now? $5,
Oh,
$10,
shoot,
something like that.
if it works, I would take it. It says it works for PC too, which is in my department. Single user, it's $13 now.
Yeah, they've gone up, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. Shoot, I might check that out. Awesome.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, oh yeah, my screen recorder. Oops, that's not it. Ooh, uploading. It's almost there. Tara's waiting patiently. I'm going to stop the recording. Not that recording.